Hi, it's Pow Pow. Welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. Um, Today I wanted to do a video and try to take it in one shot. I don't usually edit my videos anyway, but I thought I'd talk about something that's been on my mind and something that I'm working through. I'm currently doing the self-authoring program, which is it's a writing program that was created by Jordan B. Peterson to help you navigate where you are in your life, where you're going, and where you've been. And right now I'm working on the the section that's about faults. And one of the faults that I chose to write about was I feel ashamed of my body. And let's see here. So, like the first part, you talk about, or you write about, like a story or a time where that fault has become an issue for you, and then you write about a alternative outcome, and then also you write guidelines for improvement. So that's a little bit about that, but you probably don't really care about that part. So if you've been subscribed for me or subscribed to me for a while, or if you're like one of my original subscribers, you'll know that I used to post dance videos on this channel, and I'm eating romaine lettuce. I used to post improvisational dance videos on this channel, and I still have them. If you go to my channel, you can see ones that I've done previously on my old channel. I think it's like I don't know what it's called, but there's a playlist on my YouTube page. And one day they accidentally got deleted. I was going through my video editor and I accidentally deleted them, the ones on this channel, so I haven't uploaded them again because I don't know if they really fit what this channel is about now, since this is mostly just me talking now, or me talking about whatever really, and trying to improve my speaking skills and my presence on camera. And one of the reasons that I haven't actually recorded, well, I have recorded a few, but I haven't actually posted them up online. I'm talking about dance videos, is that I've been having some body image problems, or I don't know if they're like problems. They're not actually causing me, well, yeah, it's kind of an issue. Let's just say what it is. In the past, well, growing up, I've always been a very slender person, and I got a lot of positive attention for that. I know that some people who when they're if they're like skinny when they're younger, like they get a lot of negative attention and they worry about being skinny. But I got a lot of positive attention. Like people would say, "Oh, you're so thin. Like I wish I could be like that." And um, it was just very positively reinforced by people that I met. And so I started to create an identity around the fact that I was slim. Um, when I was, this is kind of weird, but I spent a lot of the early part of my life, even into my um, teens, just being very naive and kind of living in some sort of um, fantasy reality of what, or fantasy world of what reality is, which is fine. I was a very imaginative person, but The Little Mermaid, the Disney's Little Mermaid movie, had a really big impact on my life, or was a big influence of my life when I was younger. And I guess some of this is going into like gender identity in a way, but I um, well, how do I incorporate this into this? There's this scene in so weird to talk about on camera, but and talk to about other people, but whatever. There's this scene in the Disney's The Little Mermaid where Ariel, the main character, the lead mermaid character, is in a sunken ship and she's trying to escape a shark. Or also, I think she's just exploring, and there's these round portholes in the ship that she swims through. And I used to be totally obsessed with that idea of like being small enough to fit through, because she like swims through it, and it's like the opening is like only like this big, and she is able to swim through it. And I used to be obsessed with the idea of being like thin enough to get through into small places, and like being able to evade people, or being really flexible and thin and small. Or not small. I wasn't like small. Like I was still like relatively like average height, or taller, like average height, I guess. But I don't know. Something about that was like important to me for some reason, because I think I really idolized Ariel as a child. So like there was I was really affected by feminine or women's beauty standards of being thin was being pretty, I think. I know that men talk about like not wanting to be skinny, but that's never really been the case for me. I remember like this is so embarrassing, but I remember, wow, this is gonna be a long video, by the way. I'm gonna try to like I'll try to like keep it to like 20 minutes, but if it goes over, whatever, it's like, if you don't want to watch a sit down video, you can go and watch something else. I don't know if you can hear that. They're doing construction on my apartment right now, or in my apartment complex. Okay. So here it goes again. So I remember spending a lot of time before I would take a shower or take a bath, where I would actually like this was when I was younger, where I would like I really liked the fact that I had a very androgynous body. And I would sit and I would take like a towel or some long piece of cloth and put it on my head and pretend I had long hair and that I was a girl. I would like spend a lot of times and like just like twirl in front of the mirror and do different poses and just be really happy that I was skinny. It's very strange. So I definitely think that children's media can affect the way that a child perceives the world. I mean, it did in my case anyway. So, because I would always pretend I was like Ariel or Pocahontas or something like that. Anyways, and so I associated being thin with being me and having like a thin, like lithe, like Legolas kind of frame was like very important to me for a very long time. And I in the most recent years, I mean, I'm turning 30 in, let's see, how many days is it? Tuesday. I'm turning 30 in like 5 or 6 days, or less than that when you see this, whenever I decide to post this. And obviously your metabolism slows down, and also I don't think I've ever really talked about this, but I have bipolar 1, and so I take psychiatric medication to help balance out my moods a little better so I can function and so I can sleep. And those also cause weight gain. And so I've been kind of, it sounds dramatic, but I've been kind of mourning the fact that I don't have the same body that I used to. And that leads back to why I haven't really been posting dance videos, because I just felt very uncomfortable and just ashamed of my body. It sounds so silly when you talk about it too, like when you actually like talk about it outside of your head, outside the thoughts that you're in your head. But I've been having these like pervasive thoughts that like when I go out in public and I like end up like looking at other people and I see people that are like I mean, that have like a tummy or something like that. I'm thinking like, oh well, at least I'm not as you know, as big as they are, or I'm glad that my body doesn't look like theirs. And these aren't thoughts that I ever had before. This has only happened in the last 2 years. And it's like, that's not the person I want to be, because I appreciate beauty in all shapes and sizes, and I find different types of bodies interesting and beautiful. So it's not something that I I don't want my mind cluttered with these judgmental thoughts about other people and me comparing myself to other people. It's not healthy, and it's um it's just not what I want to do. Oh, weird. I don't know if you've ever had this before, but like where you have a dream, like you feel like you've dreamt something before. Like I feel like I have had a dream before that I was making this video. Like I often have dreams um, about very mundane things that I'm doing, and then I end up doing them later in my life and remembering that I dreamt about them. I don't know if anyone else has that, but it's like I should make another video about that. But um, so those that's just like I guess that's what I wanted to talk about was my struggles with body image. And you know, I don't like need like sympathy or like people telling me like, oh, you know, well, like what I don't care what your opinion is about the way I look or anything like that. It's just I wanted to get this out there and talk about it a lot for my own sake, just to get it out there because I've been going through these things and processing them and working on it through this writing program. Um, and so I'm kind of at a point where it's like, well, what do I do to improve my self-esteem and my body image? And I mean, some of the things I could do is actually, I could learn to work out. I could take the route, I could attack it from both sides. I could work on actually getting back into shape. Um, and then I could also work on the self-esteem part of like the mental and the emotional part about it. So if you have any suggestions, like if this is something that you deal with as well, you know, and you're brave and you want to talk about it, like feel free to comment about it and let me know what you do to feel better about yourself. Yeah, I don't want my identity to be attached to strictly to my body. Like that's silly and not healthy, I don't think. I mean, I think it's okay to have some pride in like your body if you've worked for it, or you know, have positive feelings towards your body, but constructing a whole identity out of it, no. So I think that's all I have to say. I think a lot of people struggle with their body image, and we should talk about this and have a dialogue. So hit me up if you want to talk. And I really appreciate you for watching if you got this far, and I will see you in my next video. Alright, hopefully you got something out of this. It's just me sharing my story, so alright, ciao.